General, thank you so much for doing this interview. We really appreciate it. How would you describe the nature of the war with Israel in 2006? Was it, as it appeared to some, just a response to Hezbollah's border raid?
No, it was more than a response. It was a real war. And the Hezbollah was targeted, They wanted to sweep everything, with Hezbollah and to destroy the potential of war of Hezbollah. And Israel didn't succeed to do it, so Hezbollah resisted, and it kept its potential, and they can do it, one more time. And I don't think that's the right way to solve, the Hezbollah problems.
As a military man, were you a bit surprised at the strength of the Hezbollah response to the Israeli response?
No, I was not surprised. Maybe, all the people were surprised because Hezbollah resisted. But since the fourth day of the war, I was in Al-Hurra, Arabic American TV, and I said that the fighters of Hezbollah will destroy the Israeli machine and they will win the war. So everybody was surprised and thought that I am not losing, my judgment.
So it brought back your old military skills.
Yes, because that's that's the heart of the soldiers who can only win the war. It's not the machine. The fighters of Hezbollah were more prepared, to that, morally were prepared for that war.
And I gather there were some Amal fighters and some Communist Party fighters as well, is that right?
Well, there were some, but they were not, as efficient, and they didn't, do the main battles.
Why did Israel not just hit Hezbollah forces, though, but targets all across Lebanon, north of Tripoli, right out into the Bekaa Valley, right in the middle of Beirut, in Junais, in Jie? Why so many bombings, so many targets?
Well, they were also targeting the Lebanese population, to make some revolt against the Hezbollah. So they attacked the infrastructure of the country, and but they didn't succeed, because we were appeasing the people, and we are saying we made them understand that it was a war against Lebanon, and they should accept some suffering and some losses, or to win the war. And the Lebanese people helped the resistance during this period, and especially for the people who displaced, and came to the more peaceful areas.
Now, you're a leader of the largest Christian group. How were the Christian people responding, do you think, to this massive attack on Lebanon?
I made them an appeal to be Christians only, and they behaved like Christians.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they were open-minded, and they loved the other people, and they helped them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the behavior of a Christian.
And did they support Hezbollah?
Yes. Support them, by helping the displaced people. And certainly the support, was very important, morally important, and well, when you are, you don't have any Anxiety.
Anxiety. When you don't have any anxiety.
When you have any anxiety, you can fight more on the front.
Did many of those displaced Muslim people from the south enter Christian districts, stay in Christian homes?
No.
Did many of those people from
Yeah.
the south who were Muslim, who were being attacked by cluster bombs and
Yes.
so on and so on, when they fled their homes, did they go to some Christian areas? Were they taken in by Christian people?
No, they were here. They were between the Christians. They live in the schools, and some people were hosted by Christians, and they became friends, and they visit each other right now. And it helped us, It helped the people to know each other, and it was very important, to develop a peaceful situation in the country.
So maybe Israel helped unite the nation.
Yes.
Now, I understand you met some American representatives when they came here during the war. Did you appeal to them to help stop the war? And if so, what happened?
Well, all the time I was appealing to stop the war and to discuss. And even I wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal approaching, a solution for this war. And I still, working for a solution of the consequences of this war, and to put the rules that will avoid to have it once more.
And did you meet Condoleezza Rice?
I met her before, before the war. It was in the summer of 2005.
Do you think Israel had, as a military person, do you think Israel had planned their tactics for this war before the Hezbollah border raid?
Yes. It is not of my, imagination, I read that, in the American newspaper by famous journalists like Seymour Hersh and another one also.
But as a
even
professional
following,
military person, could you
statements-
see the planning?
Yes. No, the statements of the Minister of War of Israel also said that, and the Chief of Staff. So this war, maybe some Israeli officers, even the Chief of Staff, was not for the war, but he was obliged to do it because it was a political decision.
Did you think that some of the tactics that were undertaken by the Israelis, for instance, the bombing of the Jia power station and the environmental effects of that, is that a legitimate, in your professional military opinion, is that a legitimate military tactic?
No. Especially, the bombing of the villages. We have a lot of losses between the civilians, and especially between the children, because these people, are not warriors. And Kana, that's a famous village in the south. It had the second, catastrophe. The first time it was in 1996. They had about 100 children killed in an attack, and this time about 54, I think, 54 children were killed in another attack.
Was there a plan, do you think, between Israel and the United States about how this war would happen and what it would do and how it would go, and this would be a bit of a trial run for Iran?
Well, I don't really know what is going on, but what I can say, if I can suggest, if somebody wants to hear, that Israel since 1948, for 58 years, is, making the same approach for solving its problems with the Arabs only using force. No, it is not the right way. Maybe they have to change their thinking, and to make an approach of justice and law and rights and respect, and to reconciliate, its rights of security with the rights of the Palestinians and the Arabs to exist. Maybe they will have the solution. War is not the solution. Peace is the right one. And for getting peace, we have to recognize the other and its rights too.
Do you think the Palestinian question came into this war?
No, it was not, no.
No.
Maybe as a secondary effect, maybe this war will affect the Palestinians, but not in a direct way,
I was told that there was a suggestion put to you that the Palestinians should be settled in Lebanon.
Yes, everybody is working for that, from outside the country, not in Lebanon. But nobody will accept the solution. I think it is a main problem for us.
And the Americans didn't suggest if Lebanon were to settle the Palestinians and solve for Israel the right of return problem, then Lebanon might benefit financially?
No, cannot benefit from the implementation of the Palestinians in Lebanon, because we are a country, overcrowded country. We have about 367 inhabitants by square kilometers, On Australia, you have 2.5. Can you imagine the density of the population here?
But was that idea put to you?
Maybe they will find a place in Australia if you like to have some people,
But can I ask, was that idea put to you? Was that notion
Well,
put to you?
somebody, yes, we spoke, not right now, but before. I think some people, some congressmen were trying to make a resolution in the Congress to implement the Palestinians there where they are.
And he spoke to you to see if it was possible?
Well, I make intervention with them, to stop the resolution. No, I am clear about that. Nobody, is ignored that.
Yes. Can I ask a general political question? Because I think from an outsider point of view, it seems strange that a Lebanese Christian leader is in a coalition with Hezbollah. Can you tell me why and how that came to be?
Well, they are Lebanese first. And I am, secular. I am not, confessional. I am working to transfer our country from the confessional political system to a secular system. And in my party, we have Christians, Muslims from different sides, Sunni, Shia, Druze. And right before you came here, I have a group of Druze here. Like that, the Shia, they are the third of the country, and they have political legitimacy. They are in the parliament. They were in a government which was supported by the United States, by Europe, by everybody. So we have to develop, the mutual understanding, and to develop also the political life, to have this mixture of different confessions in the same party, and to work for a political program, economic program, something like that. So we'll develop, a new kind of understanding, of the national life. And with that, I think, I don't know where and when we'll reach, this final solution, in transferring this the power from confessional one to the national one. But I think we have to put it, as a target for us. And therefore, I develop all the understanding between the communities.
So that would be going beyond the French mandate and beyond the TAIF Accord, wouldn't it?
Yes, why not? TAIF Accord, it was an understanding between Lebanese. So they can get another understanding, and it will be Sapra TAIF, better than TAIF. Why not?
That's very hopeful.
Okay.
Is the country ready for that?
It's not ready. We have to make it ready. I am not, ignoring that, the situation of the country. Because it's not ready, we have to put more effort, to make it ready. I'm not looking that for this moment. So things like that takes time. Take time.
Can I ask one last question, which I don't understand? How can Lebanon not have an air force and be next to Israel?
Because I think we need to have an anti-aircraft forces, because it is beyond, our economic possibilities. It is very, very expensive, to have a air defense, not air defense, air force system, to balance with Israel. Therefore, an anti-aircraft system, an anti-air defense is much better. It doesn't cost too much, and it helps.
Because the last war surely must have been, from an Israeli pilot's point of view, easy pickings.
Yes.
For 34 days.
Yes.
How does that make you
so
feel?
Therefore, we need an anti-aircraft system.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Okay.